Do you know who is one of the most famous Southern comedians to ever perform? Hi, I'm William Blossom, and I have been researching the life of David Whitney to learn about him. I will be presenting information on David's childhood, education, career, achievements, and adult life. According to 2016's America's Who's Who, David Whitney was born February 17, 1963 in Pawnee City, Nebraska. His father, Tom Whitney, was a school administrator, farmer, preacher, and former guitarist for the Everly Brothers. His mother, Shirley Whitney, didn't have a stable job throughout his childhood, but occasionally performed as an Elvis Presley impersonator. Throughout David's childhood, he spent most of his time at cattle auctions with his grandfather. This is where David learned that he had a talent for performing in front of crowds. This is also the place where David Whitney got the persona that we know and love today as a redneck. When David was 15, he and his family moved to Palm Beach, Florida. Once in Palm Beach, David's education began. Whitney attended King's Academy, where his father was the principal. Whitney changed schools to Barron High School after his father stepped down as principal. After graduation, Whitney attended Baptist University of America and University of Nebraska, but dropped out during his junior year to pursue a career in comedy. At first, Whitney had a very common performance that earned him slots at comedy clubs every now and then. Then came major success when Whitney changed his performance to something that the world had never seen before. Whitney changed his on-stage persona to Larry the Cable Guy. Whitney credits several college friends for this idea. This persona was a saturation of Southern lifestyle and hardships that they went through. After this change, David Whitney became a regular on radio call-in shows and comedy clubs. After just 2 years of performing as Larry, he was able to quit his job at the local inn as a bellhop. The first time Larry performed on national radio was in 1991 on the Bob and Tom Show. The attention that Whitney received from this slot on the radio brought him to be lifetime friends with fellow comedian Jeff Foxworthy. David Whitney and Foxworthy were constantly featured on each other's shows, then eventually joined the Blue Collar Comedy Tour together in 2000. On top of his stand-up career, David Whitney has been featured in multiple movies over the past decades. Whitney voiced the lovable but dim-witted tow truck in Pixar's Cars and Cars 2. David Whitney also played the Tooth Fairy in 2012's A Tooth Fairy 2. Whitney was asked by Foxworthy several times if he would guest star on his show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? David Whitney has been credited in large part for the popularity over the years of what is now called redneck comedy. In a 2012 interview with People magazine, David talked about his personal life and how he married Kara Whitney in 2005. David and Kara have 2 children together. Their oldest child, Wyatt, their son, was born in 2006, and their daughter Reagan was born in 2007. They named Reagan after their favorite president, Ronald Reagan. In 2009, he and his wife started the Get Her Done Foundation, which gives funds and other help to children who are in need. I have provided you the highlights of the childhood, education, career, and adult life of comedian David Lawrence Whitney. Even though David Whitney was not raised in the most glamorous situation, he still used the way he was raised to his benefit on his path to becoming famous. Thank you.